very warm welcome to all our participants. Thank you so much for joining in today. I see Meg, Yash, Neha, Deepa, Chetan. 20169 would request you to kindly change your display name to your name so that it becomes easier for us to identify who you are. I see Vijay, who has joined in. Hi Yash, how are you? Thank you so much for joining in. I see Atul, Bhaskar, Keyur. Good to know that, Yash. Hardik. Great. So I trust that all of you and your family are all safe and sound. We are all geared with some exciting learning sessions as we approach the year end. Let's begin with our today's webinar. Self-leadership is the practice of intentionally influencing your thinking, feeling, and action towards your objectives. We all talk about so many shortages, shortage of food, medical facilities, infrastructure, employment opportunities, entrepreneurs, but none talk about shortage of good leaders. Today, our master will give us an insight into developing leadership thought through self-leadership. A beautiful quote by Peter Drucker: being a self-leader is to serve as chief, captain, president, or CEO of one's own life. HR Association of India welcomes you all to the 2021 Dialogue Masterclass series on the topic self-leadership. To know more about HRAI and its event, I would request all our participants to visit the link and details posted in the chat window. Request all the participants to kindly follow the webinar guidelines mentioned in the chat window. It would be great to have all the participants' feedback. We will be running a poll before the Q&A session. Request all our participants to kindly give your feedback on our session. I now take the privilege to introduce our master for today, Dr. Charu Rawat, Director, Readers Oak. She is an educationist and a trainer with an experience of more than 15 years in higher academics and have worked as a faculty, Director of Training and Placement, Head of MBA Department. She has taught in institutions like Lucknow University, Amity Global Business School, Patna Women's College, National Postgraduate College, and IMRT Business School. As a trainer, she conducts corporate trainings, teachers training, personality development and soft skills training, mentoring, career counseling, personal counseling, fitness training, and tutoring in maths. Her trainees include PCS officers and other senior government officers, army officers, corporate managers and employees, teachers, students, individual, students of rural area, and women. She's an author, anchor, and a blogger. She has been part of many programs on Doordarshan and also the editor of LMA eDrishti magazine. You can follow her on LinkedIn. Link details have been shared in the chat window. Without taking much time, I now hand over the platform to Dr. Charu. Over to you, Doc.
Thank you, Peter, for that lovely introduction. And good afternoon and welcome everyone to the webinar, to this masterclass on self-leadership. And let me just give me a moment. I'll share my PPT also with you. How can I remove the this window where our faces are showing actually? Otherwise, it's very distracting. Okay, I've minimized it. Okay. I hope my slides, my PPT is visible. Would somebody like to answer? My PPT is visible or not?
Yes, it is visible.
Yes, it is visible. We are able to see it.
We'll begin today's masterclass by answering a very simple question, that what is leadership? And in the broadest sense, leadership is the ability to influence others. That means how able you are that people look up to you. They would like to follow you, get influenced by you. And we all want to become leaders. We all want to be leaders. May not be in every aspect of everything, but in some aspects of our life and work, we all want to be leaders. And though some say the leaders are born, some say leaders can be made, but though some may be, some people may be born leaders, but the leaders can always be made. And in order to become a leader, and those who already have leadership skills, to polish them more, we should know what are the attributes, what traits make a person a leader, what are the attributes of leadership that we need to work upon, we need to develop. And I've listed down 8 attributes, 8 traits of a good leader over here. There are many, but I've listed down 8 important ones, which I think are main. The first important trait of any leader is courage. A person should be courageous to be a leader. With courage, we mean your ability, your intention to take risk, take decisions. Every decision comes with some amount of risk, and it is believed that the best decision, if you have many decisions, many alternatives to choose from, of course, a decision means you have to choose the best alternative. So the best decision will always have only 50% of probability of success. That means it has 50% of, it involves 50% risk, the best decision. And hence the leader should be courageous to be able to take the risk of taking the decision. And the leader should have both moral and physical courage. A person should have moral and physical courage to be a good leader. With moral courage, that means a person should be ready to take the full accountability of whatever decision has been taken, of its consequences. That means take full responsibility of the consequences of the decision. And also be prepared, whatever the consequences will be prepared with strategy B. In case the consequences are not in favor, you do not get the desired result, you should be able to make changes, certain changes, to convert that not so desired result, maybe a negative result, into a positive one. So that is moral responsibility. Take full accountability and also be prepared with a plan B, strategy B, in case you're not getting the desired results. With the physical courage, we mean that in the time of crisis, no matter how broken you are, you may feel like crying, shouting, venting out your anger. But a leader must maintain a very calm and a brave facade, a brave exterior, never let fear or anything show on his face. So that those who are looking up to the leader, who have faith in you, their hope there is not lost. Okay. So one has to have physical courage also to not let fear, emotions show, especially at the time of crisis when one needs actually to be more courageous. Okay. So courage is one very important trait of good leader. And then is willpower. Willpower is your ability to do something that you should do, whether you are inclined to do it or not, whether you want to do it or not, but putting an effort and doing into something that you should do. That is willpower. Willpower, you need to have this strong feeling, strong sense of motivation in you to be able to do, even if you do not feel like doing something. Okay. If you have to do that. So that is willpower. Then another important trait of a good leader is communication skills. With communication, again, I'm not going into the technical definition, but communication simply means your ability to express yourself and understand the other person. And the leader should be able to guide, instruct, motivate, and even control, supervise people. That is only possible through communication. And also be able to understand the problems of people, be able to understand the information that has been provided so that problems can be solved. So communication skills are again very important for a leader to be a good leader, for a person to be a leader. And modesty. Now, modesty is staying grounded, down to earth, not letting your achievements enter your head. Absence of modesty means presence of arrogance, and a leader should not be arrogant. The moment you become arrogant, you cease to become a leader. Then you become unapproachable. People cannot come up to you with their problems. So one has to be modest, not showing off, not boasting of the achievements. At the same time, being self-aware, being aware of what your strengths are, so that you may know how to use your strengths and how to strengthen your strengths further, and also be aware of your weaknesses, so that you may know in what areas you have to work, improve yourself. So that is modesty, being aware of your own strengths and weaknesses, aware of yourself. That is modesty, and not letting achievements enter your head. Positive attitude, again, is a very important trait of a good leader. It simply means having positive attitude towards your own self. Positive attitude, that means full belief and trust in your own capabilities, that you can do what you want to do and what you should do. You will be able to achieve your goal, and you have that ability. So you should have that confidence in you. If you do not have the required skills or ability, you have the ability to acquire them and then achieve what you want to achieve. Okay, so that is positive attitude, having full confidence in your own self, in your own abilities. That is positive attitude. Resilience is coming back stronger in case if you stumble, you do not succeed, maybe in first opportunity and the first chance you do not succeed, you should be able to come back stronger, make a second attempt. Rather than cribbing over and giving up and accepting defeat, one should make an attempt, second, maybe third attempt also, to be able to get what you actually want to achieve. So resilience, again, very important trait of a good leader, and I must say a courageous leader. It requires courage to make second, third, and more attempts. Okay. Then truthfulness. It earns you respect. If you are a truthful person, people will have respect for you. They will have confidence in you. They will trust you. And for a person to be a leader, it is very important that people who follow him or her, who look up to that person, who want to get influenced by you, or are influenced by you, who have hope in you, should have faith in you, should have confidence in you. So truthfulness, being truthful, will earn you that respect, that confidence of people. And the eighth trait that I've mentioned here is kindness. A leader should be kind. Again, not arrogant. That means understanding for others should be there. At the same time, should be ready to help whenever and wherever possible. Kindness will again earn you respect and love of people. And your genuine side will be revealed through kindness. Wherever and whenever possible, try to help others, especially people, when they're in the time of crisis, when they're going through tough times, they expect some kind of support from someone. And at that time, if you are able to provide that support, you will come off as, of course, a genuine person, a helpful person, and people will like you. People will like to be associated with you. So kindness will again earn you more respect, and also people will have hope in you. This is very important, that people should have confidence and hope in their leader, that the leader will be able to solve their problems. So these two things are very important, and hence a leader should be truthful and kindness. So these are the traits, basic traits that I've listed over here. Now I would want all of you to calculate your own leadership quotient based on these traits. May I request you all to be ready with a pen and paper and draw this structure to calculate, you to find out your own leadership quotient. What you have to do is draw a circle and divide the circle in 8 sectors. Should I give you a minute's time to arrange for a pen and paper, those who are not sitting with one? Okay. So you have to draw a circle, divide the circle in 8 sectors with the help of 4 intersecting lines, which will give you basically 8 lines. And label each line, at the end of each line, put the name of the leadership trait that we just discussed: courage, kindness, communication, modesty, positive attitude, resilience, truthfulness, and willpower. You can write in short. You don't have to be as accurately you can see here on the screen. Just a rough figure, a circle with 8 sectors. Okay, if you have done this, Then divide each line roughly, again, not as accurately as is shown over here. Divide each line in 10 divisions from 0 to 1. 0 is the center point, and sorry, from 0 to 10. From 0 to 10. 10 is the highest point of any trait. So basically, you're converting every line into a ranking scale to measure each leadership trait that we discussed. If you have done this, please do not put the numbers. You should have the idea, 0 is the innermost point, the point at which all the lines are intersecting, and 10 is the outermost point, outermost ranking, you can say, highest ranking. Okay, if you've done this, then give yourself a ranking. Yeah, that means put a point on whatever number you want to rank yourself for every trait. I've done this here. It's just for example. Okay, like for courage, I've selected 6th rank. For kindness, I've selected 8th rank. Communication, 5th rank. So you can do the same. Rate yourself on each trait. Okay. 10th is the highest and 0 is, of course, the least. Positive attitude, marked 7 over here. Okay. Now, if you've ranked yourself, okay, if you've ranked yourself, now join all the dots and you will get some enclosed figure, probably an octagon, looking somewhat like this, depending upon your ranking. Again, this is just an example that I've made over here. I hope all of you are following. So the green area that I've shaded over here, the green shaded area represents the leadership quotient of a person. The leadership qualities, the amount of leadership qualities you have in you, okay? So shade that area that you already have. The unshaded part of this circle is the area of improvement, is the area on which you need to work to develop your leadership skills. Have you got it? Can someone just unmute and say if you've got? Okay. So these are the areas where you need to work. These are the traits. And in order to be able to be a good leader, we need to develop a model behavior. That means behavior which is worth being followed. A behavior that people, they look up to. We have to develop a model personality in ourselves that people look up to us. They like to be associated with us. They like to get influenced by us. They like to follow us. And to develop these leadership skills, we must first self-lead. So leadership begins with self-leadership. And what we must do, the very first thing we must do to develop self-leadership, to develop leadership skills in us is, number one is, you take care of yourself. Take a very good and a thorough care of yourself. Take care of your physical self, of your physical health, of your emotional health, of your mental health, and your social health. When we say take care of your physical health, that means you have to take care of your body, because it's your body that houses everything. Your heart, your mind, your soul, your brain, your bones, muscle, everything. Your feelings, your dreams, your aspirations, everything is housed in this body, and hence respect it. Respect that body, take care of it. You must exercise at least 40 minutes a day, every single day of your life. So exercising 40 minutes, anything less than 40 minutes will not be as effective. But to begin with, you can begin with, exercising. Those who haven't exercised at all, those who don't do exercise may begin with 10 minutes and may move on to, gradually increase their time and reach 40 minutes within a month or 2 months. Okay. So for 40 minutes a day, you must exercise. This 40 minutes of exercise every day will add 40 years to your youth. So you can expect to reach your middle age by the age of 80. Okay, you will not grow old. Your youth will remain intact until the age of 80. So exercising 40 minutes a day will help you retain your youth. And in case of others, will help you restore your youth. And you can do walking, running, jogging, yoga, aerobics, whatever you feel like. A combination of all can also be done. And with walking, we mean brisk walking and not strolling. Apart from this, you must take nutritious diet. Of course, all these things you already know. Drink plenty of water. We must drink around 2 to 3 liters of water. All this is already known. But of course, while drinking water, do not wait to feel thirsty. When we feel thirsty, that means our bodies are already dehydrated and they're screaming for water. So we should not wait for that moment. And if we have water at that time, our body tends to store that water. So keep sipping water time to time and take plenty of rest. With plenty of rest, we mean around 6 to 8 hours of undisturbed and sound sleep. Okay, so you must take care of your physical bodies. A healthy mind can reside only in a healthy body. So take care of your bodies. Take care of your emotional health. That is the second kind of health you must take care of. That means stay away from any kind of negativity, anything that hurts you. Remove all such negativities from your life. Remove yourself from situations that emotionally hurt you. Remove such negative people who again kind of pinch you, try to hurt you emotionally. Remove such people from your life. And if you cannot remove them, you can always limit your interaction with them. And if in case you have to at all interact with them, be prepared mentally that this is generally what they say and that hurt you. Do not let things what they say enter your heart. Let it enter your one ear and exit from the other ear. Not like this. Okay, it should not enter your heart. The moment things enter your heart, they do not exit from the other side of your, from the other ear. Okay, so remove all such people. Exit WhatsApp groups, such groups where you think they post such hurtful, they post hurtful messages. So remove such people or limit your interaction with them. So take care of your emotional health. Take care of your mental health. Now, emotions, they help you feel the life. They are a proof that you are a human and emotions will come to you. Mental health helps you, your mental abilities help you to process information, understand, learn things, gain experience, solve problems. So you must also keep your mental health, take care of your mental health also. And when we say exercising is good for your body, meditation is the exercise of your mind. So you must meditate. That means try to rid your mind of any thinking, any kind of ideas or thinking or thoughts for some time at least. And meditation will help you get that, will help you achieve that. And we must meditate for around 15 minutes a day, every day. When we say 15 minutes of meditation, that does not mean for 15 minutes you can rid your mind of any kind of thoughts. It's almost not possible, but it will take you 15 minutes to be able to rid your mind of again of any kind of thoughts for few seconds to few minutes. I don't know who's calling. All professional calls are coming right now only. Okay. So meditation will help your mind. It is a kind of exercise for your mind. And the best way to do is to try to concentrate. First of all, find a peaceful corner in your house or anywhere where you think nobody will disturb you, and concentrate on your breath. Do deep breathing exercises. When you will do so, you will not think of anything else, but only and only think of how you're breathing in and breathing out. And again, there's a technique of doing deep breathing exercises while meditating. And the technique is you have to breathe in to the count of 4 from your nose. Breathe in to the count of 4 from your nose. Hold your breath to the count of 4 and breathe out to the count of 8 from your mouth. If you will do this 2 to 3 times, your entire concentration will now be on your breath. And again, you will not be thinking of anything like you're getting late to office, or if this will happen, if that will happen, if you will be able to complete your task or not. And this meditation will help you, your mind. It will again strengthen your mind, sharpen your mind to do things better than you were doing before. Okay. So meditation is one thing. It's kind of again exercising and giving rest to your mind. You can also solve certain kind of puzzles to sharpen your mental abilities. Fourth health is your social health. We are all social beings, and ever since we've all got ourselves involved with our phones, so we are interacting with each other only through social media. And we have thousands of Facebook friends, many contacts on our WhatsApp, keep sending good morning, good afternoon, New Year, Diwali messages. many followers on Instagram, but we somewhere lack real friends. And hence, it's very important that we actually pick up a phone or go and meet friends in real, in person, people in person, so that we may be able to share sometimes of feelings, give somebody our shoulder, and interact like one human should interact with the other, and not like bots as we chat on WhatsApp. Okay, so it's very important for us to improve our social health. Any questions in this? Another important thing we all lack is we do not manage our time well. So we must manage our time really well. And the best way to manage our time well is to try to do all the activities that we should do, all the productive activities that we should do in a day. And that will be possible only because since we keep cribbing about time, we don't have much time, busy, too busy. Do not be busy, be productive. Choose activities that you should do, only activities that you should do, and so try to be productive. And the best way is to add more number of hours to your day. Now, how is that possible? How can we add? We all have only 24 hours in a day. How can we add more number of hours to the day? You can do it in two ways, and both of you will have to apply both the ways. The first is wake up early in the morning, and second is eliminate all unproductive activities from your daily routine. Activities which yield you nothing, which get you nothing. Activities performing which or doing which you simply regret. One of such activities is spending time on social media, unless the social media is earning you, helping you grow in your business, or you must not spend much time on social media. Otherwise, just checking out somebody else's pictures, liking them, checking how many likes have you got. You should not waste time much on social media. It's the most unproductive way of utilizing, I mean, spending your time on most unproductive way. It is simply wasted of time. The first thing that I discussed was to wake up early. When we say wake up early, one should wake up at around, though the earliest time is 3 o'clock, if not 3, but you should wake up at 4:30, so that you have a good 3 to 4 undisturbed hours completely to yourself, when you can exercise, when you can take care of yourself, when you can do the work that you should do the important activities early in the morning. So you will have a plenty of time early in the morning, undisturbed time, only to yourself, where you can do what you should do. And that includes exercising also. Okay, so you must manage your time well, and we can have some other time a master class on time management, where we will calculate how much of active time we are left with and how to utilize that time. Then third is developing a positive attitude. To be a self leader, you must have a positive attitude towards yourself, towards life. Positive attitude towards that means full confidence in your own abilities, that you will be able to achieve what you should achieve, what you want to achieve. You have the ability, and if not, you have the ability to gain those skills, learn those skills, attain that ability to again achieve what you want to achieve. So develop a positive attitude towards yourself, towards life, and towards others. Always see the positive side of things. Empower yourself. That means learn something new, educate yourself, learn new skills, join some new course, develop your professional competence. All this is very important to be able to grow, to stay relevant. Since times are changing, technology is changing, requirements are changing, one needs to stay relevant to these changing times, to all these changes. We don't have to be outdated. We don't have to get obsolete. To stay in fashion, updated, relevant, we must keep empowering ourselves, keep learning, keep educating ourselves. That is empowerment. Develop a professional competence, so that when others come to us, we may be able to solve their problems and develop more leaders under us. So it's very important to empower yourself. Do not stop learning. Keep your brains ready to learn. And you must, how can we empower ourselves? We must learn something related to our profession, related to our field, and some even beyond that, every single day of your life. Without doing anything, we will simply grow old. Today, if somebody is 30 years old and 10 days old, tomorrow the same person will be 30 years and 11 days old. So you don't have to grow old. You have to grow up. You have to keep developing yourself. Your rate of development should be so high that it contradicts your aging process. This is what happens in children. When a child is born, a baby is born, aging starts right then. You must have noticed a baby, a just born baby, has very soft hair and skin. And a 5-year-old child, though is still very small, the skin becomes slightly rough and hair also becomes slightly rough. So that means aging starts right from the time a child is born. But then the rate of development is so fast, so that this aging, it gets kind of contradicted, it gets negative, it moves in the reverse direction. So that means when you're aging, with every passing day, your rate of development should be so high that this aging process should get negated, should get reversed. Okay, and we all want to stay young. I talked about adding 40 years to your youth. This is one of the ways. Also, this is another way to add a few more years to your youth. So be open to learning, keep your minds ready to learn. Okay, so and learn something new every single day of your life, because it's very difficult to learn too much, gain too much in a very small period of time. What you should do is divide the entire, you can say, the course or whatever you want to learn to very small simple parts, and so that each part is easy to learn, easy to perform, do, or attain. Okay, so empower yourself. And yes, we've been talking about doing this for ourselves, doing that for ourselves, but we always forget to appreciate and reward ourselves. We are generally motivated by rewards, and that is why we perform for our organization, for those rewards, and hence we are their employees. And when we get that reward, we perform even better to get more rewards, more appreciation. So you must definitely respect your profession, because it gives you an identity, respect, and of course, it gets you to pay your bills also. But treat yourself also as your own employee. Do things that are good for you, for yourself. We do good things for our organization. We should respect. Again, I said that we should respect our profession, but do good things for yourself, like exercising, taking care of yourself, learning something new every single day of the life, managing our time well. And every time when you do something like this, that is good for you, that is productive for you, that will help you go a little further to your, it will bring you closer to your goals, something that's bringing closer to your goals. Appreciate yourself, give yourself a self hug. Think how much you have done in this time. Had you not done, you wouldn't have been here at all. Okay, so appreciate yourself and also reward yourself. One best way to reward yourself, as I've also shown in the picture over here, is that you take a glass jar, and every time you do something good, every single day, okay, when you do something good that you think you are not very much inclined to do. One example is exercise. None of us want to exercise, but we exercise. At least we can't make up our mind at the time of exercising. Okay, so if you have done that, if you have completed your project or file or report, if you made a report before the deadline, or you've done something that you were not much, mentally prepared to do, you were not much inclined to do, pay yourself. If you have done something that is good for you, pay yourself. Take a glass jar, put some money, put some change in that, and as you will see the jar, filling up, you will be motivated even more to do something better, to see the jar fill up. And once the jar fills up, you can spend that money on something that will add value to your life. Like you can buy a book, you can join some online course, you can buy a good watch, something that will add more value to you, something that has value, and you will not be able to squander this money. Spend it wastefully, because this is your hard earned money that you have earned by working for yourself, not working for the organization, but working for yourself. And another suggestion would be, please keep this jar hidden from your younger siblings, because they will know that there's some change over here, and whenever they will need, they can take it out. So please keep it hidden also. Yes. Another important thing is Never compare yourself with anyone. Get out of the comparison trap. If you have to compare, you must have heard it 1,000 of times that please compare yourself only to yourself. You should be your only comparison. Whatsoever, whomsoever you are today, tomorrow you should be a slightly better version. And if you will keep improving on yourself on daily basis, every single day, you will keep learning something, you will keep strengthening your body, you will keep strengthening your mind. In few months, you will be a highly developed person, a person who's highly skilled, who has far better abilities compared to what you were a few months before. Okay, so your only comparison should be with you. When we compare ourselves with others, either we develop some kind of superiority feeling or an inferiority feeling. When we feel inferior, we feel depressed, and again overthinking takes over us. And when we are overthinking, our minds are occupied with this unnecessary stuff, that is overthinking, then our minds refuse to learn something new. You have to keep your minds ready, open to gain more knowledge, to be more creative. Do not let it get stuck by overthinking. And when we feel superior, we simply stop learning. So do not compare yourself. And you must have seen, earlier what used to happen. We used to just open all these fashion magazines and see all these extremely attractive and beautiful models, and would feel sad because we don't look like that. We don't have to compare ourselves, and please never compare yourself with the fashion models of these fashion magazines, because there's a lot of hard work that goes into that one picture that gets published or printed in that magazine. So please do not compare yourself with anybody else. Compare yourself only to yourself. Be a better version of yourself with every passing day. Learn something new, work on your physique, work on your mental health, okay? Develop your abilities, skills. Yes. And do not gossip. Gossiping can have a very bad impact on your reputation. Am I audible? I hope I'm not just talking to myself.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, because it happened some time back. I was taking an MBA class, and probably the class, I don't know what happened, and I realized, yeah, I'm only talking to myself. There was some internet problem. Okay. Gossiping can have a very bad effect on your reputation. Whatever you gossiped about goes out, and presented it out of proportion to somebody else. So one must not gossip. Gossiping is simply, you're simply wasting your time in something extremely unproductive. So one should not gossip. If you have to discuss something, talk about something, discuss something important, valuable, that will help you gain more knowledge, rather than talking behind somebody's back. And one must also understand the difference between gossiping and somebody who shares his or her problem with you. So if someone shares his or her problem with you, is actually has actually confided in you his apprehensions, fears, or some kind of thing, that he trusts you. You should not let it go out of you. You will, of course, not. People will not trust you. Again, you will lose your trustworthiness. For a leader, it is very important that people should trust him. Okay, and moreover, of course, your reputation will be at stake if you are caught. That what you let out some kind of somebody's secret to somebody else. So one should not gossip, and of course, utilize your time in something more valuable, in valuable discussions rather than gossiping. One more thing that is important is you must choose your circle wisely. We tend to mirror the emotions of the other person. So if we are in the company of people, or in the company of someone who's constantly cribbing, complaining about life, uh, is always discussing problems, illness of the family problems, we also tend to start discussing the same points. Okay, so that means somebody's complaining about life, we also start complaining about life. So one must choose the circle very wisely. So we must take care. So that means if we are in the circle of such complaining people, we also become complaining kind of individuals. If we interact with people, highly motivated people who want to achieve something in life, aspirational people, we also become like them, because again we tend to mirror the other person's behavior whom we are interacting. And it's all said, it's a very famous quote, that we are the average of 5 people we spend our time most with. And so why be the average of people who are constantly complaining, who are not self-motivated, who do not just want to achieve much in life, and they're always talking about problems? So you must choose a circle of friends, you must interact, you must socialize with people who are always talking about achievements, always talking about doing something big in their life, and always are trying to do something good in their life. So you must choose your circle, your friend circle should be such. And one best way, that means you must make friends with highly achieved people, uh, successful people. And one best way to do is you can read the books of successful people, of great leaders, their biographies and autobiographies. They may not know you personally, but you will know them quite personally on reading their biographies and autobiographies. You can read Wings of Fire, which is an autobiography of Abdul Kalam ji. So you can read such books, be a part of the circle of such great people, and you will improve your circle. This is one best way of improving. And our next point is quite related one. Read good books. Read books that help you improve yourself. I just mentioned, read the books of, read biographies and autobiographies of great people, great leaders, successful people, people who've achieved something great in life, people who've learned something from their mistakes. Okay, so read books of such people, read self-help books. uh, so read good books. When you will read books, when you will spend time in reading, you will not have time to gossip in the first place, and you will learn something new with every book, with every chapter of every book. Okay, books are there to but read good books. I'm not talking about novels. Novels may help you develop your writing language writing skills, but otherwise, try to read good books that help you develop as a person. Again, I've already mentioned here, learn something new every single day of life. It's very difficult to learn too much in a very short span of time, and hence this is what we do when we think there's so much to learn. We just don't take the first step. So go step by step, divide your entire, whatever you have to learn, whatever skill you have to gain, whatever course you've joined, divide the entire thing into very small simple parts. That means, and each part then becomes very easy to learn and understand. So you must learn something new every single day of your life. And when you will go very slow with your learning, step by step, you will also not just learn and gain knowledge, you will also become intelligent. Now you can become intelligent only when you are able to apply that knowledge wherever required. You may be knowledgeable, have a lot of information, may know a lot of facts, but to become intelligent, you need to know where and how and when to apply your knowledge. So when you're going step by step, you will also understand where and how to apply that knowledge. So you must learn something new every single day of your life. Yes. Mind your mindset. Whatever we are, see, we are as good as our minds are. We are as capable as our minds are. We have as much potential as our minds make us believe. And we are also as incapable as our minds are. So basically, our minds rule us. Okay. So let us do one very small exercise. And I would request you all, if you can stand, otherwise, you can do it sitting also. And make sure you don't hurt anybody around you. You please put either your left or right arm forward. It's a very famous experiment that I'm making you do. Okay, it's not developed by me. It's a famous experiment. Okay. Now, try to take your hand as much back as possible, keeping your shoulders facing front. You have to keep your shoulders facing front and try to take your hand as much back as you can. Okay. Now turn back and see where, till what point has your hand reached. Okay. Bring your hand back. Now with your mind, tell your hand to go further back, to go further behind you. Okay. Let's do this. Now try to take it back as much as possible, keeping your shoulders again facing forward, and notice the point. Did it go a little further back or not? It probably did go. Mine went just around an inch or so, but it did go a little further back than it went the first time. This simple activity shows the power of mind, what our mind can make our bodies do. Okay, so if only positive thoughts come to your mind, it will guide your body also positively. If your mind thinks you are not capable of doing something, you will not be able to accomplish something, actually your body will not be able to accomplish that. So your mind must guide your body positively. And to be able to feed your mind with positive thoughts, your soul, your heart must send out these positive thoughts to your mind, and mind will guide your body to positivity, to growth. And it also shows that there's nothing called impossible. Our abilities, our potential is unlimited. And any kind of incapacity, incapability is nothing but a figment of imagination. We are capable of doing everything that we can think of. It's only that we need to set our minds right. It will guide our bodies to achieve those goals that we want to achieve. Okay, so make sure that your mind is set right, is wired correctly. So you need to rewire your mind to positivity than from negativity. Okay, any problem? Anybody would like to ask anything or would like to share something here? Okay, yes, since we just done the power of mind, one must visualize the best version of yourself, of oneself in mind. Whenever you're thinking about yourself, even if you're not thinking, make an effort to think of yourself. Picturize yourself in your mind as the best version of yourself. What you want to be, how you want to be, how you want to talk, how you want to look, how you want to walk, what you want to achieve in life, in what place you want to work. Visualize, keep thinking about it. Visualize that best version of yourself in mind. Again, we just did this exercise, we just discussed this, that your mind, whatever you will think in your mind, whatever pictures will come in your mind will guide and lead your body to achieve what you want to achieve. Okay, so that's visualize always the best version of yourself. Yes, strike a power posture, improve your posture. When you improve your posture, now let me also correct my posture after this. This reminded me that a good posture is something that makes you look smart, confident, strong, and graceful. And make sure that your posture is again a smart, confident, graceful one, sophisticated posture. So make sure you improve your posture. When our minds are nervous, when we are nervous from our mind, fearful, it all starts showing on our faces, on our bodies, in our eyes, even in our tone of voice. Everything starts reflecting. So that means our minds, they rule our body as such. But the reverse is also possible. Our bodies can also rule and guide our minds. So when you strike a power posture, a confident posture, a graceful posture, so even if your mind is not very confident, if you are fearful, if you are nervous, your mind will trick into feeling confident. Okay, so you must improve your posture. A good posture is when you are sitting, standing, or walking, your shoulders should be pulled back, stomach in, and you must stretch yourself to your maximum height. That is a good, powerful posture. Okay, and you must follow. So improve your posture. It is also good for your backbone, for your overall health. So you must, and it will also help you develop your willpower, because we are used to slouch a little and sit in a more comfort or walk in a very comfortable manner, in a very more relaxing manner. But when we make that extra effort to sit or walk straight, put our shoulders back, try to stretch ourselves to our maximum height, we are making that extra effort to make our bodies do what we should do rather than what our bodies actually want to do. So it also strengthens our willpower. Whenever and wherever possible, try to help others. Again, we discussed one very important leadership trait is that is kindness. It will help you earn respect of others and people will see hope in you. So extend a helping hand wherever, whenever possible. And it's many writers, successful people, and psychologists, they believe that helping is the quickest way to improve, to raise your self esteem, self respect. So when you help others, you feel happy about yourself. You develop some confidence about more confidence about in your own capabilities that you're capable. You're able to do much more than you think. So whenever and wherever possible, do help people. Okay, extend a helping hand. And yes, when we're talking about wake up early, if possible, wake up at 3. If not at 3, then around 4, 4:30. Latest by 4:30, you should wake up, exercise, read, study, and keep empowering yourself. Respect your profession. You have to work also, manage your time. Well, we've discussed a lot of things. And it may sound as if we are only talking about living a very robotic life, but that we should not do. We are all human beings and we should live like a human. And so please enjoy the entire journey, in the journey to developing your leadership skills, the journey of life. Do enjoy. This time is very important, and take breaks in between. Do things that you like to do. Go and meet your friends, have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea with them. So enjoy your journey, enjoy life, listen to music, take certain breaks. It will also help your mind relax. So that we talk about mental health in the beginning, so it will also help your mind to relax and then come back rejuvenated. So enjoy the journey. Do not make it very boring. And of course, you should work towards your goals. Use your time productively. Wake up early. Exercise. Have nutritious food. But do enjoy your life. Okay. Take some breaks. Go on a vacation. And lastly, that I would like to say is do not forget to smile. Very difficult to smile at all times. But if you are kind, truthful, confident, if you're a leader, everything will reflect in your smile. Okay. You should also smile. Of course, you should see the situation when you are passing any physical smile. Okay. And your smile should be genuine. All these things, your genuinity, honesty, truthfulness, kindness, all these things are reflected in the smile. Also, smile when life does you some favor. When you worked for something and you get, when you wanted something and you got. Okay. Smile at life, give a smile of gratitude to life. It has done a favor to you. You worked for something, you got. When you work for something and you did not get, when you worked for something and somebody else got instead of you, when you wanted something and you did not get, again, give a smile of gratitude to life, because life has thrown a challenge to you and it wants you, it is trying to tell you that you must now strengthen yourself further, polish your skills, learn something more, learn something new, and develop yourself, develop your overall personality, your leadership quotient. So it is trying to tell you that it's time to develop more. Anything anybody would like to ask? We still have 10 minutes.
Would request our participants, if they intend to ask any questions, to share their questions in the chat box. But before we move into that Q&A session, we will be initiating a poll. Would request all our participants to kindly share your feedback on our today's session. While we are doing so, would also request all our participants to kindly post their questions in the chat window. Once again, I thank all our participants for joining our session today. We have received a lot of inquiry about the certificates offered by HRAI. You can claim your certificates by sharing your details. When I say details, that is your name and the session that you have attended in an email to the email ID provided in the chat window. Kindly ensure that you share those details by end of this month. We will email the e-certificates to you based on details received.
And I would like to thank Dishad sir for joining us. Dishad sir is a very senior retired engineer from UP government, and I shared the link with you. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
So there are a couple of questions which I would like to take up.
Okay.
Okay. So we had received this at the time of registrations also, and I would like to ask and take this through. Uh, what is the three significance of self-leadership? What are some self-leadership strategies?
Strategies we discussed. In fact, the entire the entire masterclass was on the strategies. Significance is that to be able to lead others, we must lead first ourselves, us. To be that, kind of ideal person. You don't have to live an ideal life all the time, but then to be a kind of person that people look up to. People would like to get influenced by. People like to follow. This is the only importance of, self leadership. So first, be that person that you want others, to see others to be.
Well answered. Thank you so much, Dr. Charu. The next question that we have is, how will one include the big picture of the organization when making his or her next important decision? How can self-leadership play a role out here?
Okay. Okay. You're talking about organizational leadership in this case. See, one must see this. This is known as conceptual skill, and you develop the conceptual skills as such cannot be learned through some kind of course, or you develop them over a period of time with experience by solving in the beginning, simple problems of the organization, moving up to solving more complex problems which are more unstructured and cannot be defined clearly. And at that time you have to keep all the senses open and be able to see how a change in one point will affect the rest of the organization. When you press a balloon, from one point, then the shape of the entire balloon changes. That shows, that means whenever we bring a change in one point, it affects the rest of the organization also. Same applies over there. So that comes with experience, and also again through developing your professional competence. So it's an ongoing process. You must keep learning something new, try to solve problems. And let me tell you, there are two ways of solving problems. One is when you encounter a problem, you solve it. Another way, and is a better way, is that you must anticipate a problem and be prepared in advance, so that you may minimize the damages when you actually, in case if you encounter a problem. Yes.
Thank you so much. So we have our next question, that is from Tushar. He has asked how emotional well-being impacts an individual in day-to-day life, work life, and relationships.
Okay. Yes, that's a very good question. How emotional well-being. See, what happens is whenever some emotion, whenever an emotion arises in our mind, what happens, it occupies a major part of our brain, a major part of our time, and we remain embroiled in that emotion for a quite a long period of time. We have all gone through, no matter how much I'm telling you right now. In one of the sessions, somebody even asked me, it was a very good session of with PCS officers, and in the end one very senior person asked me, ma'am, are you emotionally strong? At the end of that, that was a very good question, and I wanted to say that only a person who has made such mistakes can guide the importance of being emotionally strong. Anyway, so whenever we are some emotion arises in our mind, it occupies a major part of it, and we start overthinking. And we are overthinking, what is we are actually doing is we are reliving and reliving a problem that has actually not occurred. And when we are living that problem in our mind, our brain cannot distinguish between the real problems and the imagined problems. And then what happens, it impacts our behavior. We tend to act rudely with people around us, and hence make sure, of course, do feel an emotion, because we are all human beings. We are not robots. We cannot numb an emotion, but we must understand the extent to which we must feel every emotion, the time we must give, and then try to move on. One of the best ways is, if you are if you're encountering some kind of emotion which has taken over your mind for a good long period of time, you must think over it. What is the actual reason of the that emotion, and is there anything you can do to solve that problem, to solve that reason? If you can, then please do solve it, and if you cannot, make up your mind that you cannot do anything and then move on. So this is one way of handling emotions. And always
Beautifully
remember,
answered.
yes, when you are happy, you always give a happy aura, and you treat others also in your family, at your workplace, quite happily. Okay.
Absolutely true. So that reflects on your face and how you intend to communicate. The entire aspects change. Great. Thank you, Dr. Charu, for this insightful session full of learning with excellent examples that you have shared with us. Keep learning and empower yourself, the mantra. Thank you for taking us to this beautifully designed PPT. It has definitely been a pleasure being with you today. I'm sure our participants have had a lot to learn and take away from this session. Before we conclude with today's session, we would also want to thank the association members, that is Geisha, NASCOM COE, LinkedIn Local, Talguru, TLE, and WICCI for supporting these HRAI events. To know more about these associations, request you to kindly visit the link provided in the chat window. Thank you once again, dear speaker, and our participants for joining us today. Do join us for our next session on connecting the dots on the topic, The Great Resignation, A Way Forward 2022, on the
Thank
6th
you
of Jan,
here.
2022. That's it from us today. See you soon. Stay safe, take care, and bye for now. Thank you, Sean. We can hereby conclude with our today's session.
Sure, Peter.